Hey guys, and welcome back to another Axel 72 video. And in today's video I'm back doing another interview and I'm here with Jessica Barry. Jessica, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Are you?
Great, I'm very great, thank you. And thank you very much for doing this interview.
No problem.
Great, and so I couldn't quite get many stats about your career, so I was wondering if you could give me your record, your age and your weight class.
Yeah, so I'm 28. I've been an amateur since I was about 21. I think I started the amateurs, and I had 19 fights and won 18 of them. I lost my last fight in the Elite National Championships in the final. Yeah, that's it.
Alright, great. And so, like the video if you do indeed like the video, subscribe if you're new, and let's get straight into it. So, who inspired you to get into boxing?
So originally I only really got into boxing to get fitter for football, so it kind of wasn't like someone necessarily inspired me to get into boxing. But I think like the mentality of like the sport and who inspires me, the mentality is like my dad, so I get it from my dad.
Great, okay, and so you spoke about your amateur career and you spoke about how many fights you had and what was your biggest achievement, and so I was wondering if you remember what happened in your first amateur fight.
So in my first amateur fight, I won a second round technical knockout. Yeah, I was dead surprised. It's not what I was expecting at all. So yeah, that was a really good first fight.
Definitely, and to be fair, a lot of fighters don't win their first one, so it's good that you did.
Yeah.
Great, and so you now are deciding to turn pro, and why have you decided to turn pro now?
So I kind of reached to the level at the amateurs that I didn't really want to continue with. I wanted to go pro for a fair few years, but just kind of never actually thought it would like follow through. But then I finished my degree. I was doing a degree apprenticeship, so I was still working full time. And I just thought once I'd finished that, it was the right time. It's just something I've always wanted to do, but never actually thought I'd go ahead with it. But yeah, now I have. It's really exciting.
Definitely, and so I would assume that you have started camp for this fight, and have you done anything differently because it is your first pro fight?
No, it's not really. Like I was training all the way through anyway. Up until I finished uni in June, I was training less than what I'd used to of. But ever since I finished that, I've just gone ahead as usual. I didn't necessarily think I'd be fighting so soon.
Right.
But I'll always be ready, I think. So it didn't bother me. But what have I done much different? Not really. I guess more like learn to slow it down a little bit. Like obviously in the amateurs it's very fast paced and point scoring, where now like we're sitting in and I'm like learning to use my strengths a bit more.
Great, and so you've got this fight coming up and I'm sure you're trying to sell tickets for this fight, and I was wondering why should people come and watch you? What makes you different?
I guess I just really hope that I'm going to be more of an entertaining fighter. Like I'd look at myself more like a fighter than a boxer. As an amateur, you're there and people like showcasing boxing skills. And although I want to showcase my boxing skills, I want to show people that I'm tough and I'm going to be an exciting fighter.
Yeah,
I think that's a lot of the time what people want to see in the pros.
Definitely, and it makes sense. I mean, especially in the female game, I've seen it a few times where there's just the fighters are just a bit boring and a bit dull, and they're not really going out there to actually like try and take somebody's head off. They're just kind of trying to tap it round. But if you're going to bring that back,
I just feel like you've got to be prepared to take risks, like to be exciting, and yeah, you've just got to be prepared to do it and go for it.
Definitely, and so you've got this fight for September time, and as you are at the start of your career, I'd imagine you want to be quite active, so I was wondering if you're trying to come out again before the end of the year? Yeah,
so we're hoping that I'll be fighting in November as well, and that'll be in Coventry, so that'll be like on home turf, so that'll be really exciting. If it was down to me, I'd fight every week, but hopefully 2 before Christmas, and then get straight back to it next year.
Great, and so you're right at the beginning of your career at the moment, and I was wondering how far do you believe you can go?
I think obviously for every boxer that goes into it and dedicates their whole life to it, they'd like to say they can be world champ. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, that's what's going to happen. I'd like to say that I look at like small goals, and just try and achieve a little goal each time. And every time I achieve that goal, then go on to the next one. So like at the moment, my biggest achievement is going to be winning my pro debut, and then hopefully go on to something like a title, like the Commonwealth title or something like that. And hopefully they'll start getting some bigger titles out for the females, like British titles and stuff, which they don't currently have. But hopefully they'll have them soon as well.
Definitely. And I mean, I suppose in a way you can kind of maybe look at it at somebody like, I don't know, Sandy Ryan. Like, she's not had loads of fights, but she's had 2 title fights now. So
they say like you can progress really quickly as a female, and now's like time to be doing it. So yeah, like if you play your cards right and you start boxing well, you can be given opportunities quite early on. So
definitely, and
that's the plan.
Yes, and so I've got a little bit of a fun question here. I mean, I doubt it'll be going to fruition for this fight, at least. Maybe in the future. But if you can possibly give me a dream opponent.
Oh, a dream opponent. That'd probably be Heather Hardy in from New York. She's like an Irish American, and I just think she's brilliant. She's just solid. She's just tough and pretty cool. She's like a mom that works really hard, and yeah.
Great. And so
it'd be cool to share the ring with her, to be fair.
Definitely. And another thing, we got this all-female card coming up soon.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you could possibly give me a prediction for the Shields versus Marshall fight.
I'd have to go with the Marshall. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any particular reason?
So I've been sparring like up whilst she's been trained, like while she's been sparring some of the lads whilst I've been there, and it's just been really great to watch. And obviously you're going to have to back your home fighters as well.
Definitely. So. Great. Yeah. And so I'll leave it with this final question. You've got a little bit of a platform here. Would you like to shout anything out?
I wanted to say a big thank you to all my friends and family that are massive supporters of this. I wouldn't be able to do it without any of my friends and family supporting me. But most importantly, to my coaches, it'd be great to say thank you to them. They do everything all the time. Like, they give their lives to us, and they don't get anything for it. So, just want to say a huge thank you. It doesn't even always seem like it's massively appreciated when we're always tired and hungry and moody, but it is.
Great. And so, thank you very much for doing this interview.
No problem.
Great. And maybe in a few years when you're fighting for these belts, we can do a return interview.
Yeah, definitely.
Great. Okay, well, if you're on around here and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do indeed like the video, and thanks for watching.